Okay, Project Juice Box, she's in the shop. Now, we're not gonna do any major work to it, but I gotta do a few things before we can drive it around safely. Right now, we're gonna clean the fuel tank and make sure that the Holley Sniper is happy, gets the right fuel pressure all the time. I have to get a couple spare parts for it because somebody robbed the hood hinge off of this to put in the F350 for Motorama because he somehow lost the hood hinge. It's really odd. I'm usually pretty good at that, but we got a spare parts truck. We're gonna rob some parts off of that. Take the top off, enjoy this thing for the summer. And the first thing is the fuel tank, full of crap. So we're gonna show you how to clean a fuel tank so they get rid of all that rust without spending any money whatsoever, with just a little bit of work. So here we go.
We could go EP5. I'm coming to Vice Grip Garage. We're putting a sniper on it.
Check. We were making headway. Now we need 2 windows.
Yep. Get us through power tour without dying.
While this is happening on the highway.
We're going to Ford Fest. So we're throwing a Holley dash in there. It is not our fuel filter that's clogging anymore. It is the sock on the pickup tube inside the tank. We're literally 4 minutes from my house. It's like right there. And this is what an 84 Bronco looks like in Canada. Got the rust remover solution in there. And then tie it to your spinner thingy. Should work, here we go. Okay, so before I get into the fuel tank, I gotta go to a parts truck and grab some parts. The window switch doesn't work anymore. And I realized that it was the back window. The little key switch in the back won't make it go down. So to park it for the winter, I rolled the glass up and hot wired it with this booster cable. I didn't really feel like climbing all the way into the back, so I left the booster cable in the front. One of these makes it go up. The other one makes it go down. It's barely been on the road. It's already got 3 sets of plates. We got our Vermont plates, we got our temporary plates, but we also got our juice box plates. So we're gonna clean the truck out, inside and out. Here we go. Okay, see if this still works. Oh, look at that. Magic. And I didn't even have to crawl into the back seat. Thing is, with the top on, the window goes into the top. You can't open the tailgate. There she goes. So I need this switch I found out. So see what tools I need, and then we'll go run to the scrap track, and then we'll go from there. Got my nice Rust-Oleum moisture pouches in case it leaked at all. These suck up all the moisture, which is handy for any winter vehicle. I throw these things everywhere. They're the Rust-Oleum moisture grabbers. You can tuck them in down below there, and you can feel this thing is solid as a rock right here. So obviously it's sucking something up. So that's always a good idea for any vehicle that you put in like any container or leave it parked all winter if it's not inside a beautiful heated shop. So here we go. And this is what an 84 Bronco looks like in Canada. Yeah. But this is perfect for us. It's a 84, so I know everything fits. And the good news is that this tail panel looks like she's in pretty minty shape. One little crease there, we might be able to push that out, but it's a lot better than what we got. And then we can even cut this piece off and weld it in where there's massive dents on our side. You can see it's like right punky. So it shouldn't be too bad to take all this off. And he said the key worked on it when we grabbed it. So I'm gonna steal the key out of it too. I don't think they need that. No, it won't start. Nice, that, my hood hinge. And I cut this roof off. This will be perfect. See if we can do the least amount of work on that possible, but pull some trim off. I might take the trim too yet, because if I damage mine, I'll get a little bit extra. Here we go. Plug hinge here. It's pretty tight. Oh, that's my degreaser. That's not my lubricant. Now we try this. Wait, this is it. No, that's my spray and stay. Here it is. Magic. Okay, so the Bronco tailgate, it was just easier just to cut this out than to try and get this motor working. There's a giant mouse nest there, and there, and there. The bottom of this one isn't as bad as I thought, but it definitely had its better days. But anyway, I needed all the guts out of this and the switch and the key, because now that is all in our tailgate, and it actually works. The window goes up and down, and this is actually how Ford does their wiring. They just duct tape it to there, so we'll do the same. It works properly now. I got the dent out a little better, so not perfect by any means, but good enough for now. I'm not gonna spend too long on it. I got the dent out of the plate a little bit because that plate is different. I do like the smaller one better, but the Ford symbol is kind of tired, and that one looks really nice. So we'll pull this one off somehow, I hope. I think it comes off. And then we'll pop that on there, put the cover back on, and she's golden, ready for the summer. Look at that. Nice. Sweetness. All right, after some double-sided tape, one more thing off the list. Here we go. Okay, so first things first, you want to clean your tank, you gotta take it out. So I got the bolts off on the back, drop the fuel pump, I'm gonna drop the front, take off the filler neck where the fuel comes in, and then your feed or your suction, and then you're good. It helps when your tank is empty, then it's nice and light. You can use a jack or whatever to pull it down when you're laying on your back if you don't have a hoist. I got a hoist, so it's up in the air a little bit. And I used to have a really nice stand that could pull this down, but I broke it because I was using it for things that it was never intended for. So I'll just use my toolbox. It'll be fine. I think it's only like half full of fuel. Oh yeah, look at that, she's golden. If it doesn't get hung up on the hitch, I'll get her. Here we go. Can I get it out from underneath? That's the question. Oh no. Oh, I should have really thought this through. How full is it? be easier when it's empty. I had no idea how much fuel was in there because my gauge is broken. Apparently there's quite a bit. Oh, it's not bad. 10 liters, 20, 5 gallon, 40, I don't know. Okay, so I like my shell pails because they're white. You can see what kind of crap is in there. Oh boy. And then you can pour it into a funnel with the rag on it. Let everything kind of settle to the bottom there. I can see junk there already. Wow, yeah, lots. You can see all the black on the bottom already. That's all rust that just constantly clogs the filter. So what happens is on these older vehicles, nobody ever fills the tank. They put 10 liter, they put 2, 3, 4, 5 gallons in at a time of fuel, and then they let it sit. And then what happens is the top part of the tank rusts. So it being a Oregon vehicle, this tank is in fantastic shape. There's nothing wrong with it. There's no rust on it. You can see the filler cap there, or the sending unit. It's just as clean as can be. It's just a little bit of surface rust on the inside. So you can buy a new tank cheap enough, but if you're, I don't know, everything's too expensive and you can't get it now, so you got to fix what you have. The tank is actually thicker steel than anything that you buy from Rock Auto or wherever. So we'll pull the sending unit out, twist that lock out, and then see what it's like inside. Look at all that crap. The whole bottom of the pail is black, and then the rest of it is nice see-through. So what you can do is siphon the fuel out, put it up high, siphon it, and just leave the bottom little bit in there. And you got nice clean fuel again that you can reuse. Otherwise, just put it in a vehicle that you don't care about. Okay, so the gas is all gone. Nice and empty. We're gonna put a little bit of old diesel in there just for lubricity and keeps the flammable explosion down a little bit. I'm gonna do this a couple times. Don't need that much. A little bit on the bottom, and now comes the magic part. We gotta put the rust remover solution in there. And then tie it to your spinner thingy. Got a quick little setup here. Drill, never intended for this purpose, but it works. So we just put it nice and slow on there. We'll tie the tank to there. Wait for the batteries to die and the neighbors to come over screaming. And basically, you can see it's already removing the rust off of the tire. See, it's already working. And I haven't even put the fuel tank on there yet. Now, you don't really want to use expensive straps. You want to use some of these cheap ones from Princess Auto. Because if the tank explodes, you don't want to ruin your expensive straps. I just set the governor. You're saying you don't have an axle laying around and a big 90-degree drill to spin it slowly. Well, you can just tie it to any vehicle. If you jack the vehicle up in the air, stick it in drive, and walk away. The issue is fuel's expensive and can't really change the angle so well. So even though it does work, it doesn't work as well as if you're able to tilt it. So by changing the angle, the chains kind of slide across the bottom now. We've got the outside ring. Now we got this side. After this, we should be good.
I'm gonna go for supper, push the kids on the swing for a little bit, and then should work. Here we go.
Okay, so I kept going until the battery was dead. So my neighbors officially hate me and will not talk to me all summer. But if we take our light, the bottom is now nice and shiny. I did use different kinds of chains. So I started out with the really heavy ones, then I went to like a medium, and I ended up with a finer chain towards the end. That's the chain as it comes out. This is the chain as it went in. Rusty and shitty, but you can see the difference where it even cleaned the chain off. So I'm gonna pressure wash it and then immediately fill it with a little bit of diesel to keep the flash rusting out, and then drain it and then fill it with fuel and install it again. But that is how you clean all the ignorant rust out of the bottom of a tank. Now, if you go back to our 48 Fleetmaster build, that had kind of a unique tank and it had a bunch of holes in it. And you can use this thing called a Pour 15 sealer, and that worked fantastic for that. That had pinholes everywhere because it was an old rotten tank. And you pour it in through here, you cover up the ports, and then you tip the container every 15 minutes as like honey, and it runs down, fills all the holes, and then it traps all the rust in between the steel and this coating, and it's like a hard plastic coating by the time it dries. Works excellent as well. If you have like a saddle tank on like an old international tractor or whatever, tanks that go around contours because the chains won't really fall into the right spot, and it also fixes the leaks. We'll clean this tank off and then put it back on again. I'm not gonna paint or prep the tank. It's pretty wet with the little bit of diesel that came out. We'll do that when we do the 5.0 swap in the fall. So for now, back together and off to the beach. Okay, so I used my Princess Auto vacuum bleeder to pull off just get the last of the water out. And now you can see the bottom of the tank is shiny. A little bit of discoloration, but all the chunks are gone. And that looks really, really nice. I think a little chunk there. I pressure washed that. I hit it a bunch of times. That's more of a stain than it is anything else. So we should be good. There we go. Okay, so it's a lot lighter without 10 gallons of fuel in there. But that last setup worked pretty good with my toolbox, so probably, actually, you know what? Yeah, I'll probably just do that again. Don't worry about this overextended flex line, that's fine. Just don't worry about it, it's not even that bad. Basically just holding this axle up. Okay, only thing left to do is put some fuel in it, change the fuel filter. Not going to show you how to change the fuel filter because every vehicle will be different, but definitely change your fuel filter, and then happy hunting down the road. You have to do this with any vehicle that kind of sat 10 years or longer. A lot of condensation. Good tips is to fill your tank if you park your vehicle for the winter. That keeps the condensation out and doesn't allow rust to form on the top of your tank. You got about 10 gallons back in it again. Let's see if she fires up. Because this is fuel injected, we'll just cycle the key a couple times. Nice. Only thing left to do is tighten that fan belt and take the top off and go for ice cream with the family. If you haven't guessed already, that was a 9-inch Ford rear end that I put the fuel tank on. So that only means 9-inch rear end swap along with a Dana 44 front axle swap. We'll show you guys how to rebuild that. And the reason for us swapping that out is this axle seal is leaking. I could not get the fill plug out, so I have no idea how much oil is in here. Probably not a whole lot. And that front axle, this twin I-beam on these Broncos are just terrible to drive down the road. Great for off-roading and jumping, but we're done with that. If you haven't seen that video where we took the Ford Fest and we jumped it, I got about a foot of air into that. I got about 3 feet with the Bronco too. That was a fun video, check that out. We got a new interior coming for it, which we'll put in so the family's comfortable. Solid axle swap, so it goes down the road straight and keeps our nice Toyo tires nice. And then this winter we'll do the Coyote swap 6R80, but we're not going to do any extensive work to it that will leave it down for extensive amounts of time because we want to drive it. And that's the whole point. Get out there and work on it and grab some ice creams with the family, make some memories. If you're not filthy, you're not rich. Here we go.